Hi, Gary Bernier, Wizard of Digital at Business Growth Guys, a Wizard of Ads partner. Today we're going to talk about Facebook marketing, and I'm going to break it into two components for you, content marketing and Facebook advertising, and we'll dig into both. Doing content marketing on Facebook is where you're creating written, picture, and video content, and you're publishing it for the world to find, which means you're posting on Facebook or Instagram. And your cost to you is time creating and publishing that content. Your goals for content marketing are have somebody find your content, fall in love with your content, like or share your content, become a member of your audience, subscribe and follow you regularly so they end up regularly consuming your content, reading, listening, or watching what you put out there. Your next goal is to elevate them to the next level, which is typically becoming a customer. And then number 4 is maintaining them, keeping them as a subscriber, a follower, and a customer. Those are your 4 goals of content marketing. A couple of tips for helping people fall in love with the content that you're producing. One is create timely or newsworthy content. See if you can create something that's intriguing, insightful, or informative, sometimes bizarre, weird, or shocking, funny or humorous, or sad or heartfelt. Anything that tugs on the emotions is good content. If you want to know more about creating content, I've got 2 other videos. One is Content Marketing Explained, where I dive deeply into content marketing. If you really want to know how to create the actual content for your Facebook marketing strategy, watch the social media marketing and content marketing strategy video, where I show you how to use story to craft multiple posts over multiple days, give you tips on how to fill up the year with content. So both of those will be available at the end of the video for you to click through to, but I just wanted to make you aware that you can go much deeper into content marketing, and there's some how-tos there. Once you've created the content, what you're hoping is that people find your content. In order to do that, you need to publish consistently and you need to publish properly, which means you need to follow the platform's algorithms, best practices, and those sometimes change. One of the tips on that is right now with Facebook, photos without modification do better than photos with modification. So putting text over the photo, putting speech bubbles on, anything that you modify the photo, Facebook's algorithm doesn't like that as much as a raw photo. Include hashtags, connect with other people using the @ so link to them. Yes, hashtags still work on Facebook. Hashtags group content together so that people of like interest can find the content together. Facebook advertising. This might be what you're interested in. This is where you actually place a sponsored ad in the feed, right? So Facebook has created this platform to host and share content, and what they sell is advertising to make money. So sponsored content, Facebook ads, and Instagram ads. You're spending money to buy audience so that people can see your advertisement. So Facebook advertising is broken down into 3 components: campaigns, which are a collection of ad sets, which are a collection of ads, and lastly, ads. How do you get to the ads manager? This is one of the most confusing things on Facebook. If you type in business.facebook.com, I'm going to show you exactly how to get to the ads manager in the simplest, easy way, and to peg it so you can get back there really quickly. Okay, getting into the ad manager. Now here's a trick. Facebook has made this incredibly confusing with all their variations of their admin interface. One way you can get into the ad center is to come over here on the left and go into ad center, but the way I want to show you is the way that they're moving toward, which is their Meta Business Suite. So I'm going to right click on this and open up a new tab, and in that new tab you'll see a nice menu, and again we see ads here. This is the current ad interface. I'm not particularly thrilled with it. I use the ad manager, and if I click all tools, it shows up here and will jump me out to the ads manager. But a trick I want to show you is that if you click edit, it brings up the ability to edit this menu in the business space. So I'm going to take ads off. I'm going to add ads manager in, move it up to where I want to see it, and hit save. And so now I've got my ads manager in my menu, and I click on that, and it opens up the traditional ad manager that I'm comfortable with, that breaks things nicely into my campaign tab. These are my 2 campaigns I'm running for the Empire Builders podcast, the various ad sets that I'm running, and the various ads. So I'm going to click the Create button to create a brand new campaign. And the first question that I'm going to get asked is, what is the objective of my campaign? And as you roll your mouse over each one of these, there'll be a little info and it'll pop up. You can also select it. So if I select Reach, it'll say, show your ads to the maximum number of people. Well, that's the same as it says with the little pop-up. Traffic is traffic to your website. These under conversion, this is all if you have an online store. This is the way, and store traffic is visit your physical store. So this is to get people sort of into your shopping, if that's your goal. Mine for the Empire Builders podcast has always been traffic. However, I am considering Reach, so let's pick Reach. Now, down at the bottom, you'll notice that it came up, name your campaign as optional. So I'm going to write in here, example campaign. I can name my ad set. I'm going to do the same thing, example ad set. And we'll act like we're promoting the Lego episode. Now, I don't have to do this here. If I don't do that here, it will get, it'll put in some blanks and you can always change it. So the first thing is the name of your campaign here. Special ad categories, only if you're doing housing ads, social issues, or employment, or credit card offers, do you have to select a specific ad category? This just runs it through another test. So in this case, it's going to be an auction buying style, and I can edit this and change it if I have the option. Here I can then again change my campaign type. So we'll leave it at Reach. And I can also set a spending limit. So if you know you've got a fixed budget, you can set your budget for your campaign. Not going to get into A/B testing at this point. That's an advanced concept, and not going to get into budget optimization at this point, because again, you need more information to understand whether you should turn that on or off. So that's your campaign settings. Basically, you're naming it, you're giving it a type of the way you're buying the clicks. You're choosing your campaign objectives, so the artificial intelligence knows what type of traffic to put your ad in front of. After you've set your campaign, your next step is to create your ad set. And again, we just have the example ad set name. In this case, it's for the Empire Builders podcast page. I'm not going to use dynamic creative. I'm not going to have Facebook do my creative. Daily budget. So at the campaign level, you can set a maximum amount to spend. At this point, you can set a daily budget, and Facebook will do its best to spend. And as the little note says here, on some days it's going to spend a little bit more than others. And when the campaign starts, which is basically now, and you can set an end date. So if you know that you're doing something, you want to spend a certain amount of money over a certain period of time, you can definitely set that up. The second thing you do is you select your audience, and this is what a lot of people call targeting, and you have a lot of options. So right now, this is the default. For me, it brings up the country of Canada. Age is 18 to 65, all genders, detailed targeting, and languages. So we can have some a little bit of fun here, and I can edit this out. I can remove that, and I can people living in this location. Great. And location, United States. There we go. I'm going to take the whole country of the United States, and I'm going to choose to make my age group from 25 to 65 and all genders. And now I want to add some interests or behaviors. So entrepreneurship. That sounds good. So this is where you can get into picking types, people that have certain types of interests. And over here, you'll see the audience definition between specific and broad. The more you put in here, you can narrow the audience down. You can exclude people. So targeting can get quite complicated, but for right now, I'm going to keep it really simple for our example, and I'm going to go after people 25 to 65 in the United States that are interested in entrepreneurship, because all I'm doing is promoting the podcast. If I wanted to add one more, there's the one I want, Lego interest. So they're an entrepreneur with an additional interest in Lego. There, now we've highly targeted our Lego ad for now. For placements, I'm going to choose automatic placements, and I'm going to leave the optimization and delivery alone for now, and click next and move on to my ad, the part I really want to get to, my creative part. Facebook ads are made up of a headline, description, URL, which is where you want the person to land, a button on the actual ad, and an image or video. Okay, we're going to put together a Facebook ad for the Lego episode of the podcast. So again, the ad name is the Lego episode, Facebook page, and because I've got it linked to our Instagram account, we're able to advertise on both platforms through Facebook Ad Manager. I'm going to do the simplest form of ad, which is a single image or video. We'll cover carousels and collections a little bit later. And down here is where we get our creative. Now, it's stolen from my Facebook page or lifted from my Facebook page. The banner, that's where the image came from, and the text is the about text. And that's not what I want, so I'm going to click the edit button and I'm going to change the media. And I need to upload, and from the downloads, I need this Deadpool Bob Ross. So that'll upload this picture in. There's the picture I want to use, and I can click next. And it's going to show me how it's going to show up. And I get to choose sort of how I want to make this come out. And I kind of like those versions better. Perfect. And it's showing me things where there's a little problem. That's okay. I need to add the website URL. And that's going to be the link to the episode. Now, one of the things I can do is change the button that shows up, so I can watch more, apply now, call now, download, quote, get show times. So the one I like to use for the podcast is listen now. And so now it's a matter of playing with the primary text that goes up here in the ad, a headline that goes down here, and adding a description. I can also change the link that's displayed. There we go. And I've got a basic ad. Again, I've got to add a headline. Now, the beauty is you can have more than one headline, so you can add options. You can add more text into you can have more than one headline. Now, it looks like I'm typing these in on the fly, and that you can do it this way, but once you've come in here and worked with the ad creator, I would suggest that you write your headlines separately, your descriptions separately, your primary text separately, and cut and paste those in and have your URLs ready to go. And if I was satisfied with all this, I could hit publish, and there's my basic ad created. I've got Deadpool Bob Ross as my catchy image. And I've put the text in, and I've put my links in, and I've chosen my button. Now I can select that it only happens in one language, and I can also set up some advanced tracking if I need that. So another time I will get into how you should use the primary text, the headlines, and the descriptions, and what works best in there. But for now, you have the basics of how to create an ad in Facebook. If you've learned something from this video, do us a favor and subscribe to the channel. Click on like if you like this video. We'd really appreciate that. If you have any questions, put them in the comments and we'll either answer them there or in an upcoming video. Thank you.